James Cameron sincerely hopes you will. He wants you to think that time-traveling cyborgs can be defeated, aliens are murderous robots, and a movie can take you to a major historical catastrophe. His most ambitious attempt to convey his faith in the potential of film has become the planet of Pandora in Avatar. Can you put everything in your life on hold to watch a movie in a way that's getting harder and harder to do in a time when there are so many distractions? By experimenting with 3D, high frame rate, and other toys that weren't accessible when he started his career, Cameron has further stretched the bounds of his capacity for belief. However, one of the many fascinating aspects of Avatar, The Way of Water, is how this concept presents itself in subjects he has already examined a lot. Fans of Titanic, Aliens, The Abyss, and The Terminator movies can recognize thematic and even visual components of this tremendously entertaining movie, which is not a remake of Avatar. It seems as though Cameron has permanently relocated to Pandora and brought everything important to him. Cameron lures viewers into this completely formed world with so many arresting graphics and incredible action scenes that everything else slips away. He's also obviously never leaving, possibly not immediately. Initially, Avatar, The Way of Water, has trouble getting going since it abruptly returns viewers to the Pandoran planet. Cameron rushes through some of the setups in order to get to the world-building middle of the movie, which is one of his best achievements, so it is clear that he really cares about it. Prior to that, we catch up with Jake Sully, Sam Worthington, a former human who is now a full-time Na'vi. He is Neytiri's, Zoe Saldana, partner and has a family together. They are the guardians of Kiri and have 3 children: Tuck, Trinity Jo Lee Bliss, Netayam, Jamie Flatters, and Loic, Britton Dalton, Sigourney Weaver, the offspring of Weaver's first movie role. When the Sky People arrive, including a Na'vi avatar of Colonel Miles Quaritch, Stephen Lang, who is here to finish what he started and exact revenge on Jake for the death of his human form, family harmony is disrupted. The major enemies of the movie, but not the only ones, are a group of soldiers who were once human but are now Na'vi when he returns. The military-minded, planet-destroying humans of this universe are once more depicted in Avatar, The Way of Water, as its real antagonists, though their motivations are occasionally unclear. I noticed around halfway through that it's not really clear why Quaritch is so determined to find Jake and his family. Other than that, the plot requires it, and Lang excels at playing the crazy. The main conflict in Avatar, The Way of Water, revolves around the same dilemma Sarah Connor faces in the Terminator movies: should I flee for my family or fight? Do you turn away and battle the crushing evil, or do you flee and try to hide from the strong enemy? Jake initially chooses the first option, taking them to a different area of Pandora, where the movie begins with Cameron's longtime obsession: water. In a location controlled by Tonawari, Cliff Curtis, the head of a clan known as the Metkaina, airborne stunts from the first movie are replaced by aquatic ones. Tonawari, a Family Guy himself, Kate Winslet plays his wife, is concerned about. Despite the potential threat the new Na'vi tourists pose, they cannot turn them away. Cameron plays with moral dilemmas once more, this time involving a group of Earth-based commercial poachers. These dilemmas center on responsibility in the face of a formidable evil. In breathtaking sequences, they risk their lives to hunt sacred aquatic animals, forcing you to constantly convince yourself that nothing you're seeing is real. As Jake's lads learn the customs of the Water Clan, the movie's central conflict turns from Sully, Quaritch to the local youth. Finally, Avatar feels like it is expanding the universe in ways that the original movie did not. Cameron knits together several stories in this movie in a much more ambitious and ultimately satisfying way than he did in the previous one, which was more narrowly focused on one. The overall project is richer by providing a bigger canvas for its storytelling, even though some of the ideas and storyline developments, like the relationship between Kiri and Pandora or the journey of a new character named Spider, Jack Champion, are largely laying the stage for subsequent movies. While one may argue that there needs to be a firmer protagonist-antagonist line throughout a movie that frequently drops both Jake and Quaritch, I would argue that those labels are being used in this context purposely loosely. The entire family and even the Earth they live on are the protagonists, and everything attempting to harm them is the antagonist. The creatures that are closely entwined with nature. Although there are a few lines that will cause unintentional laughter, viewers should be warned that Cameron's dialogue skills haven't improved. Nevertheless, there is almost something endearing about his approach to character, which marries traditional storytelling with cutting-edge technology. Huge blockbusters frequently overcrowd their settings with superfluous mythologies or backstories, yet Cameron manages just enough to keep this fantastical universe grounded in reality. The way he appropriates aspects of indigenous culture may be viewed as problematic, and I wouldn't argue against that. However, for some viewers, his more complex themes of environmentalism and colonization may be understandably too shallow. However, if a family uses this as a foundation for, it is more of a net positive than most blockbusters, which don't encourage discussion on those themes. Superheroes dominated the last 10 years of pop culture, making it possible for many to forget about the Na'vi, which has led to a lot of discussion regarding the cultural influence of Avatar recently. As I watched Avatar, The Way of Water, I was reminded of how impersonal Hollywood has grown in recent years and how frequently the blockbusters that have a lasting influence on the genre show the creator's unique touch. Consider how no one else could have produced the largest and best movies that Steven Spielberg and George Lucas have ever produced. Avatar, The Way of Water, is a James Cameron blockbuster, through and through. And I still believe in him.